everybody, and welcome to another episode of Over the Curve podcast, a Formula One podcast by fans old and new for Formula One fans old and new. Today, joining me is my dear friend Honey Badger, as always, and we also have Shakuni joining us today, whom you might have only heard in predictions. So, hello, both of you. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Welcome, Shikuni, to the podcast.
Thank
Welcome
you
to
very
the
much.
madness.
Thank you.
And
The
today
madness.
we are going to be talking about the madness, or not so mad, Saudi Arabia GP.
I would call it a mad GP.
The
Yeah,
monstrosity that is Jeddah. So let's get right into it. We start from the very beginning, the F2 sprint incidents. What happened in F2 sprint? The race started, and then there was some incidents that happened, and apparently there was a tractor or a JCB on the track, and there was no safety car. And once the race again restarted, there was another incident that happened somewhere on the main straight. The safety car came out, and FIA told the race leader to go through the pit lane. But as he was coming out of the final corner and entering the pit lane closed, and then he was given a 10-second penalty. And he ended up finishing somewhere at the back. I think he finished 18th in the sprint race. The FIA asked him, so essentially what happened was the FIA asked him to go to the pit lane and then penalized him for going through the pit lane. And my faith in the governance of the race is depreciating by every single race that happens, and every single time we hear incidents happening and then crazy decisions that the FIA is giving. I don't know what to say, and unfortunately I did not watch the race. I heard about this incidents. And what do you think, guys? What do you think?
My views on this are, when you're saying that there was a huge JCB rail like thing on the track, to clear up the debris or car, whatever it is. The moment I heard that, I got flashbacks of Jewel Bianchi, who unfortunately died in a crash in Japan, I guess in 2014.
2015, I think.
2015, yeah. He was godfather to Charles, and he was supposed to be the next Ferrari driver. He was a very promising talent in F2 at that point of time. So I got the flashbacks of that incident instantly. And the second thing is, as you are describing the incident, I feel like this is a complete robbery.
Yeah.
Even I have not seen the race. I came to know about this just, but like when you were narrating the whole incident, the only thing that's coming to my mind is that FIA has still not understood how bizarre their decisions are, and it's visible to the through the viewers, because this is so crazy that like the person got robbed basically. He would have won the race easily, but then with the 10-second penalty, there's no chance that he would have won. That's very wrong. Like even I would want to take some time and do more research on the entire incident, maybe watch the highlights and replay as well. But yeah, this sounds so wrong. Like the person literally got robbed off the podium. Basically, I don't think he would have finished in top 5 also with the 10-second penalty, or did he?
No. He finished last.
That's bad.
By the time this happened and everything, I think half the race was over. And I think F1 sprint is not a longer race. It's a short race.
Sprint race.
Yeah. So.
Okay, when we are talking about, so while we are at it, I think in sprint race only Jehan got a podium.
No, Jehan got a podium in the main race.
Feature race. Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Feature race. Yeah.
I think he started from P15 or something and got a podium.
Yeah. He had a wonderful drive.
I should start watching F2 again.
We all should.
We all should.
Yeah, we need to start watching that again.
Yeah. So in 2020, when this whole Mercedes was dominating with all that DAS system and all, I sort of lost interest in F1 because there is no real competition at the top level. So I got more invested in F2 and all the teams and the drivers there because as everybody knows, F2 has the equal powered cars, so it's
Yeah.
completely the driver skill that matters. And I know there are some differences between the teams also, but there are not much significant.
But I
So
think Red Bull is dominating, right? The
Red,
F2, I think Red Bull is dominating the F2.
yeah. Again, Red Bull and Prema. Since
Prema,
the
yes.
last 3 years, only those two were dominating. So, but it is more interesting to see F2. It was more interesting in 2020 at least. So last year I got so much invested in 2021 championship in F1. So I'll completely forgot watching F2. I should pick it up again, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, I'm just worried that there will be such crazy decisions being rolled out for future races as well. And the FIA is losing their credibility day in and day out. And that's a concern. It's going to take the fun out of watching Formula One.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about that.
Definitely. Like if this becomes a regular thing, then yeah, we might lose the entire that charm, that charisma of watching F1.
Now we get to the qualifying. What the
All right.
hell was that qualifying? Hamilton out in Q1.
I am still shocked. I am still not able to digest. Like even though he had a little better race, but the Q1 was, oh god, it was so bizarre. Like I was shocked.
So guys, being a Ferrari fan, you love to see it. You love to see it. I mean, I don't mind either of the Mercedes getting out of in Q1. I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
But I was hoping for a stronger comeback of Lewis in the race, but unfortunately that didn't happen. He tried his best. I was hoping for that, that Brazil wala 2021 Brazil wala Hamilton.
No, that I knew that won't happen. That I knew that it will not be happening because the car is
not good. Yeah.
Yeah, this year
Understood.
the car they have like somehow managed to make it a little bit worse than what it was last year also. So I think even with the last year's car, he would have finished fifth or sixth this season because the Red Bull and Ferrari they are crazy fast this year. Like I don't think there is any chance of Mercedes catching up in the coming race. Like at least they need 2 to 3 races to get things sorted.
They have a lot of work to do.
Okay, so first, Hamilton did get to P6. It wasn't as quick as you would expect, as we saw in Brazil, but he did get to P6. It was the pitting that was a problem. And eventually he got to P10. And I think when he came out of the pits, he was P11 or 12. And then he eventually finished in P10. I also think that these tire temperatures, there is a regulation change that has happened where you are not allowed to keep the tires at a higher temperature now. That temperature has been lowered, and I think these tires, when they don't have their proper temperature, are not performing well. So Mercedes is bringing updates. They're bringing it in 3 phases. There is going to be updates in Australia, Australia, Imola, and Spain. So they are bringing updates in 3 phases. This is what has been circulating on Twitter from like credible sources. So yes, Mercedes is working on their updates. Let's see. We'll find out in 2 weeks. Oh my god, it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks, but it's a worthy race at least.
Yeah. Okay.
But talking about Mercedes, I think by the season end they'll be in a better position, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. That I'm positive about it. That I also am like very positive about it. That they will be finishing the season and on a high. But that now my question is, will the start of the season haunt them like it did last year? Because last year also, like I won't say it was not the best Mercedes start that they got last year also. So that did haunt them in the end, like Lewis at least. So will it be Max versus Charles versus Lewis, or it will only be a Max versus Charles?
No, Lewis is going to come in the picture. You can't discount a 7-time world champion this easily. And Mercedes is doing their work I am more concerned about McLaren, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Can we just, all of us, can we just agree that Nicholas Latifi
Finish the sentence.
has been so successful in screwing up the race leaders? Can we just accept that?
No, I won't say that, but I will say just this one thing. Nicolas Latifi is the best wingman to Max Verstappen. Not
better than Sergio Perez.
Everybody thinks it's Checo, but it's actually Nicolas
Latifi.
Latifi is the Red Bull driver Horner did not want, but he got.
But I mean, like in the last 3 races, he's crashed 3 times. He crashed in Abu Dhabi, and then I don't know. I don't think he crashed in Bahrain, but he crashed in qualifying, and then he crashed in the race.
Yeah.
I understand he's a paid driver. He brings in a lot of money, but that money is not worth anything if you're just wasting that money remaking the car every time he crashes it. And this is the year of the cost cap, right? So it is going to affect. Drivers cannot afford to keep on having crashes. And the thing is that I don't understand what happened to Nicholas Latifi.
Why?
Like,
in what sense?
In like how that crash happened.
You mean the qualifying one or the race one?
Both.
Qualifying one, though, he lost the control of the car completely.
And then race?
Race, I'm not sure because they haven't broadcasted it properly.
Race
My
also,
God.
I think the same happened. Like he
The
was
same thing
going from the turn, but then he jumped the curve a little too high and then just lost the control completely and then hit the barricade.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God. Nicholas Latifi needs to work on his
in this track. Would you be blaming Latifi or would you be blaming the track? Because the thing is that even like if this would have been Imola or anything, even after the curb jump, he would have still been able to control the car a lot, like a lot better. But on this track, the car, it was dragging. Even for like Verstappen had a few near misses, if you remember, like in the final.
They are near misses. You also have to take into account that there are 18 other drivers on that track who did not crash, who were facing same problems. And Nicholas Latifi is not a rookie. If this was to happen to Zoe, I would understand. It would have been his first time driving on that track. He's literally driven on this track somewhat 4 months ago, and then now they're back at Saudi. So, and I understand it's the second race in Saudi. Saudi is a relatively new track, but that's new for everybody. And I just think that he needs to work on himself, because again, Williams cannot afford to, like, sure, they've got new investors, they've got more money coming in and all those sort of things, but that does not mean that you just keep punting your cars.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Speaking of crashes, Mick Schumacher.
Oh God.
Horrible.
That was a very bad crash.
We are just glad that he's okay, and that he had nothing more than a concussion, I think. Not even that, I don't know, but
no, he had a concussion, which is why he had to sit out.
Yeah, and kudos to FIA and the marshals, and like just the sheer amount of work they put in to make sure that these cars are safer, because they understand the risk that these drivers take. Good job on that. At least the FIA is doing something right. Now let's talk about something very nice that happened in qualifying, which was Checo Perez pole.
That was out of nowhere. I did not expect that. I did not see that coming.
Where did the pace come from? All of a sudden.
Exactly. What just happened? I was so shocked.
I think the pace was always there. I think Max wasn't able to extract it from the car how Checo was able to, because Max ended up qualifying 4th.
Do you think they swapped the cars?
No.
No.
You think
Max would be furious then. I think after how many races? This is the longest. This is a record, right?
215.
Yeah.
I think 215 is.
This is a record, like the pole after the longest race.
Yeah, and another fact that I heard on WTF1 was the last driver who converted his maiden pole into victory was Pastor Maldonado.
Lord Maldonado.
Yeah. That sums up qualifying. I think that is it. That's all happened in qualifying. McLaren was abysmal. All Mercedes customers were bad. all Ferrari customers were good. Yuki Tsunoda again had a lot of problems with his car, and now we're going to the race. And of course, the first thing is Yuki wasn't able to start his race because there were again engine problems with his Alpha Tauri.
Yep.
I think Red Bull also has some engine problems, which like because even like during the race also like we could see that Max like in the end he extracted like great power, but in the middle span I felt that there was some lack of pace. Like if the yellow flag would not have happened, the multiple yellow flags, I think Charles would have taken the easy win.
Charles was on a monster lap until then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Charles would have taken an easy win if the yellow flags would not have happened, because the yellow flag changed everything, because it gave Max that leaping, that gap which Max always does after that yellow flag. He gets besides the car, the leader, and then goes for that leap. So
Yeah.
And
I still think
also, Daniel Ricciardo got a penalty for impeding Ocon and had to start 14th after qualifying
See, so
12th.
I have a thing to say on this. At any other race circuit, I would have accepted this penalty, but not at Jeddah.
Not at Jeddah. Same.
I don't accept, because too dangerous this circuit. You can't even. I mean, I know there is input from the race engineers and all about the position of the cars, or any of the cars approaching from behind, but too much of stress, too many things to look for.
there are so many blind corners. There are so many
Blind spots.
corners.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how they
also,
managed to do it.
I think it has been made clear to the drivers that if they are not on a hot lap, they have to steer clear of the racing line.
Okay.
To
About
a
this-
certain extent, I think it's Danny Rick's fault as well. Of course, the team is also at fault for not informing him, because in the document where they said that where they gave the decision, they did say that the team did not inform Danny Rick that Ocon was on his hot lap and he was on the racing line after he had completed his lap. And they said that the fact that Ocon was still able to set a good lap time was inconsequential to their decision. It was impeding, and that's why they gave the penalty. So I would not
Okay.
absolve Danny Rick of all the blame, but yeah, I mean, Jeddah is a special track for a lot of reasons, and not in a good way.
I want to say one thing here. So there is one specific corner. I think 3-4 or 4-5. It's a very quick, short escort.
Oh,
Okay.
that's 3-4, turn
Oh.
3-4. Like
Turn 3-4, right?
Yeah.
How do you stay off the racing line there?
Exactly,
even if-
because it's
even
like a
if you-
literal one way. It's a literal
Yeah.
one way.
Even if you stay off the racing line, the car car behind you is approaching so fast at 200 kph or whatever speed it may be. How can you not ruin their lap?
Did it happen on that particular turn only?
I am not sure it happened.
I am
whether it
also
happened
not
there or
sure.
not.
But I
But
understand what you're saying, because that turn is one of the quickest S turn I've ever seen in my life, because the S is a very normal S, but
It's narrow.
It's a very narrow S. But if you know the track very well, you can get past on it, like maybe at 100, 150 also you can go past that S. But if you are the only driver, there is no space for you to navigate your car, because it's a one way. It's a little one way, and you don't have any like big curves also. So you can go towards the curb or something.
Okay, I
Exactly.
just saw the document. He impeded him at turn 9. So
Okay.
it's Danny Rick's fault as well, and he got the penalty.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Let's come to the race. Good Alpine battle.
Nice.
That was amazing. That was so fun to watch.
That was so fun. Yes. Reminded me of those good old Perez versus Ocon battle.
Oh yeah, from Force India, na?
Force India.
Do you think they wasted a lot of time, and
Yeah.
and do you also think that maybe that could be a reason why Alonso DNF?
Maybe. Yeah. And also, I
No.
think that they would have given a tough competition to Russell if they weren't fighting against each other.
Exactly.
So yeah, that I feel that also I think that gave a lot of option for Magnussen to attack also. So if
Magnussen and Bottas both.
Magnussen and Bottas, yes. So because if you see the entire their fight when it was happening, the entire tussle, Bottas and Magnussen were like leaping close and close, because those two were like braking and doing so much with themselves only. I think the team should have gotten in and like they should have told one of them to back out. Like I don't see a reason why the team did not make a call, but I think they should have.
Yep.
So the reason is that there was no one driver that was quicker than the other, because we've seen these team orders come in when there is one driver who is particularly like who's measurably faster than the other, and that's when they're like, okay, let your teammate pass or something like that. That's when we've seen. I think that was the reason, because they both were able to extract the car's maximum performance, and they were both driving what the car was capable of, and there was no clear winner. And that's why I think Otmar was interviewed while the battle was going on, and there was the exact same thing that the I think Brundle also asked him, and he was like, we are going to let them race. And I mean, if that is the reason that Alonso DNF'd, then I think Alpine needs to decide that, we need to, at some point or the other, they need to start making these calls, because अपने यहाँ कहावत है ना, दो के झगड़े में तीसरे का फायदा होता है. That's exactly what ended up happening. So
Yeah.
they
Okay. A
sure.
little throwback to our previous episode where I told you remember the driver reactions
Yeah.
after the for the
Yeah.
new race regulation. So there, Alonso and Ocon both told that following the cars was way easier now,
Yeah.
and it was pretty evident in Jeddah GP, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really, I didn't think following cars was that easy, and the only difference is DRS.
Yeah.
I mean, one lap, one guy was having DRS, and should we talk about the second DRS in this, which is
Yeah.
pretty useless before the last corner.
Yeah.
Pretty useless. Nobody wants to overtake there. Everybody wants to be at the trial when they're at the last corner. They want to get that nice DRS into the
Final straight.
final straight, start finish straight.
Yeah, wasn't that where the last
Yeah.
last year
Last-
the incident between Hamilton and Max happened, where he
Yeah. Exactly that give back the place thing. Exactly, that's where it happened. Yeah, that's the most pretty after Monaco. I think this is the pretty useless DRS I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I think we saw this bit between Max and Charles as well.
Charles also.
When the
Yeah.
battle was going on, they're both slowing down and they are both hurting their tires, and nobody wants that DRS. Yeah.
So funny. They both locked up into that corner.
Yeah. Okay. Then we come to Sainz and Perez. Of course, Sainz came out of the pit
Pits.
lane and Perez overtook him. And I'm not too sure what happened, but then after the safety car ended, Perez was asked by the team to give Sainz the position back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can one of you explain it to me, what happened, like what was the problem with it, because I am a little fuzzy on the details.
Sainz was coming out of the pits, and I think Checo was
Coming
at
from
turn
the
one,
like
turn
yeah,
one, I guess.
Yeah.
Turn one,
Yeah.
and he shouldn't have pushed so hard. I mean, it's a safety car thing, but he has to maintain delta. But he shouldn't have pushed Sainz. Sainz was clearly like at least a half car length ahead of Perez while coming out of the pits. Checo being Checo, he doesn't want to lose the position in such a way to Sainz. He just went elbows out and he pushed him off the track somewhat.
Towards the
And
curb,
that's
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why Red Bull Red Bull actually they didn't want to take any risk of the penalty. So they just asked him to give back the place, and that also very smartly after the race restart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. And but Sainz recovered.
Defended very well. Sainz
defended very well, yes.
Like
Yeah.
at the restart, you like the speed that Sainz took, it was amazing. It was great. Charles and Sainz both, like the moment the race restarted, they just went like a rocket.
Charles is very smart with the restarts. after the safety car. He's very
Yeah.
smart in those restarts.
Okay, thank you for explaining it to me. But I don't remember seeing all these things. What broadcast were you watching? Because the broadcast that I had,
It was, I think, right after, I think the Latifi crash only, no?
That
yeah, it
crash.
was
Yeah,
after
after the
Latifi crash.
Latifi crash. So after that, when the the yellow flag happened, Sainz went on the pit, and Checo, because Checo pitted early, right? He went in
Oh
the pits
man,
right
that
before
was
the
so
yellow
sad.
flag, right? So that's why he became fourth eventually. And then when Checo finished the entire lap, and then Sainz was just coming out of the pits, and that's when this happened.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
bottom line is the broadcast sucks.
exactly.
Because even so, okay, throughout the race, we heard Max say that Charles was crossing the pit entry
Yeah,
white
the pit
line.
entry line. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to see if that was happening or not. But I don't think it was broadcasted in a way that we
No,
could.
It was not.
It wasn't.
But apparently he was doing it.
I think he was warned by the Ferrari engineers as well. I think once or twice. Charles was warned by the Ferrari, the race engineer also, that he needs to mind the pit entry.
But how many times is it okay to do it before FIA takes an action? Because I remember Max saying it at least 3-4 times. And that is what was broadcasted.
So until they give the black and white flag, you're okay with it.
No, I understand that, but there has to be a count, right? Because, like, for example, for track limits, there is a count.
Hmm.
You do it three times. Three times you'll get a warning. Every time you cross a track limit, you're going to get a warning. And then if it happens the fourth time, you're going to get a penalty. Is there a similar
Yeah.
rule for this infringement?
Not sure.
I'm not sure. I don't think there is any rule for this.
No, it is in the rule book that you can't do that.
Yeah, but like about the penalty and all, I don't think there is anything that concrete about it, because I've not heard anyone get the penalty for that.
I've only seen this thing happen in Brazil, and also like I want to understand, because the line for pit entry starts well before the actual pit entry, right? Like it goes
Yeah.
on for a while, so you can't cross that at any point of time, is my understanding.
Yeah.
That happens in Brazil. I saw it.
Yeah, that happens in Brazil, but that's the racing line, I guess.
Yeah, because see, in Brazil, the pit line is also very much into the racing line.
Racing
Because it's
line,
in
yeah.
the turn. It is in the, like, it's the entry starts at the turn and then it goes straight into the pit. But
Yeah.
in normal tracks, it's a very straight entry, and then you take a turn for the pit. But in Brazil, it's the opposite way. So in
Yeah.
Brazil, their cars, I think, would be allowed to do it very often. But in normal cases, I think it would be for 5 or 6 times, maybe. I don't know. Because there was no action against Charles, and even FIA did not warn them or anything. There was just once I heard that
Yeah.
Crofty spoke about it.
But the thing is
even-
that FIA not doing anything is not a guarantee that it is right to do that. Like we've known FIA to not be consistent, and you know, with all my feelings for Max aside, I think him bringing it up so many times, I think it was because there has to be something in the rule book. I don't think Max would just be saying that for the sake of it.
Or maybe
I
is it
think so.
possible that Charles did not actually break it and Max just thought that he did?
Maybe
Because-
only if the broadcaster showed us.
Yeah,
Only if the broadcaster-
broadcaster showed us. Exactly. Because the thing is that
Yes.
we have not seen it. We don't know if what happened, when it happened. Like, we have no idea. Because whenever the broadcast came to us, they were well, like, away from the pit entry. And
Yeah,
they would be-
they only show you on the, like, what is happening on the main straight. They don't show
Yeah,
the last
exactly.
corner. And
Also, I
And-
have an interesting question for you.
yeah,
So the new rule of FIA, you know, the teams have to decide whether to give back the position or not. Okay, if they wrongly call it, they would be penalized, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
What if they took the right call, like Red Bull? Shouldn't they be rewarded?
Do you think FIA will reward teams now?
No. I am saying when there is a penalty, you should be rewarded, right? There should be
Uh,
balance.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so.
I mean, when you're
That's
leaving it to teams and you're not taking up the responsibility,
Like a fair
yeah.
play award.
Yeah, like give them a fair play award, like you have an IPL. I mean,
that's what exactly.
No, if you're talking about an advantage on track, no.
No.
And I mean, it's too early to start saying that Red Bull gets the fair play award. We are just on the second race.
Anyway, what does fair play even mean?
It does not. It is.
Not
It is going to be a similar award as
as
driver
in
of the day.
exactly, but it's a just for the sake of it, have one thing as a
But do you
reward.
think Red Bull gave the position away to avoid a bigger penalty? Like
Yeah.
the way Checo overtook Sainz, I won't say like it was a very bad way, but I think Checo would have been penalized for it. So do you
Checo would
think?
have been. If Ferrari took it up, Checo would have been. Because if
Yeah.
it was
So
wrong, it was wrong for him to do it, because when Sainz came out of the pit lane, he was ahead of Perez. And
yeah.
Perez pushed him and took the position. So
So maybe to avoid the bigger penalty, they like just felt like they would have thought that Checo would take the position back at the restart. I am 100% sure that's what they would have thought, and that's why they said ki like after the restart, Checo will easily take the position back, but that did not happen because Sainz was very fast. Maybe that's the whole
yeah, I
point
mean,
of it.
my question is, should they have done it under the safety car?
Yeah, that's the
They
rule now,
should have.
actually.
They should have.
You should give back the position within 1 lap of the incident happens.
Right. And at least the safety car was out for at
For
least for
two,
more
three
than
laps.
1 lap.
At least
Yeah,
two,
yeah, two,
three
three
laps.
laps.
Yeah. So should, and I think Checo would have had a better condition had he given back the position under the safety car. Then
Safety
at
car.
restart, maybe he could have done something better. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it is okay to leave it to the teams. I don't think there should be a reward. And but then they should make sure that if the teams don't give it back, the penalty is well worth it. Like
Hmm.
the penalty is something that really changes the course for that particular driver.
25 seconds
I mean, they can decide. But speaking of
minimum.
penalties, Zoe and Alfa Romeo fucking it up once again.
Did anyone else feel it? That was never 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was not. It was not.
Alfa
So
It
Romeo
was
is not a new team in the game, in the sport. They are not a new team. They should know how to serve a 10-second penalty. He got a 10-second. No, he got a 5
five,
second.
five, five,
5
5
second.
5
seconds. So,
seconds.
so
Yeah.
normally when you get a 5 second penalty, you come to the pit and all the mechanics will be static, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
will be just
So for
in a
5
statue.
seconds, you can't
For
work
5
on the
seconds,
car. He has to
they
be
will
stopped.
be as mannequin pose as possible, right?
Yeah.
And after the 5 seconds, they'll be working on it hard. I see when Zoe came in, it was like
They were working.
everyone
They
was
started.
moving. Everyone was moving
No, but
as
the
if they.
is it that they have to be like a statue, or is it that they
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
work on the
It's
car?
a stop start. It's a stop start penalty.
No,
So
but
they
they
can't
can't
do
work on the
anything.
car.
No, they can't do anything. They have to just stand there. They just have to
Oh.
stand there ready for 5 seconds, and the principal will start the stopwatch once the car is stationary. And once the 5 seconds are done, he will show the thumbs up, and then they will start. That's how it works usually.
Yeah.
But when Zoe came in, they just were doing something, and then they just started working on the car, and then Zoe went. I was like, "Where's the penalty? What just
Yes.
happened?"
I feel so bad for him.
I think the principal forgot that there is a penalty because they just started working on the car straight up. So I don't know what happened there.
When I was watching it, hey, penalty le raha hai ki nahi? I thought,
And then he got a drive through for penalty not being served.
yeah.
And it is so sad. Like he still ended up finishing 11th. That's also because 6 drivers DNF'd.
That is also another thing about this track. 6 DNF.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
lucky,
what the hell happened? Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, lucky that it was not because there was like
they were
a
not
massive
crashes.
crash,
Yeah.
and it was more because the cars just lost power or whatever. And Danny Rick, Alonso, Bottas, all within a span of a lap or two.
No,
Everybody,
Albon and Stroll was a crash, right? Albon and
no.
Stroll.
That was later. This was lap 37. Albon
Oh, okay.
and Stroll happened later. We'll
Hmm.
talk about this first. But Alonso, I still think that a lot of it has to do with his full out battle with Ocon. McLaren needs to sort that shit out. And Bottas, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no information at all on Bottas and
Yeah,
Fernando.
Yeah.
yeah.
But how unfortunate that all of them stopped at the pit entry.
And pit lane is not closed.
And pit lane is not closed. Yeah, I think Hulk and Magnussen were able to get in their pit
Hmm.
stops. But I think the VSC wasn't shown until they exited the pit or something like that. Like I remember when K-Mac and Hulk both pitted, there was no VSC. Like the FIA hadn't said that there was a VSC out.
No, so
Yeah.
there was also a talk where like Crofty said that Hulk might have entered the pit lane when it closed because so like the Hamilton thing, that entire thing happened during that time only, right?
Yeah.
So the pit lane he thought that Hulk entered the pit lane when the pit lane was closed, but then I think he did not. So because there was no action taken against him, so I think he did not enter then.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
pitted too late.
he pitted too late. Yeah, I agree. I think everybody was hoping for a safety car, and the safety car did happen, but unfortunately, the pit lanes were closed. And I really think that Hamilton could have finished a little above if he had only pitted a little earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he would have. He definitely would have.
Now let's talk about Alex Albon and Lance Stroll, the two people so useless on track. And then,
No. Don't say those things about Albon.
okay, Stroll. My
Still
God.
okay. I accept.
How much longer before Papa Stroll realizes
Very
that
long.
this is a
very
very
long.
expensive hobby for Lance Stroll?
I'll tell you, never. You know why it's taking so long? Because Papa Stoll knows it, but still he want to invest it.
I mean,
Okay, do you think like Stroll instead of Stroll, who at the Aston Martin? Okay, let's do this.
there are at least 6 drivers waiting in F2 who would love to have a seat in Formula One. There is Robert Schwartzman. Okay, I'll give somebody from the Mercedes Academy since they are a Mercedes customer. Okay, who is? I have to see who
Don't
are
say
the.
Stoffel Vandal, please.
What about
No, but
Fittipaldi? Why is no one giving much heed to him? Like that dude is good driver. He's a good driver.
Fittipaldi, the
Yeah.
Haas reserve,
Yeah.
is he good? I don't know.
He's good.
Huh. I have no clue. But
We have
he's in the Mercedes Academy.
Theo Porcher,
Hey, what about Lord Darwala?
Daruwala,
is a Red Bull driver now.
Yeah.
Red Bull driver. Yeah. Oh, you're talking
Yeah,
about
but
Mercedes driver.
Mercedes driver.
But if given an opportunity, he will. Like even this guy Norris was a Red Bull driver when he started.
Hey, who is the Mercedes reserve this year?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Mercedes reserve this year. I know the Williams reserve driver is that girl,
Jamie.
female driver.
Jamie Chadwick.
That is
The
Williams.
W Series champion.
Yeah. I think it's Vanderoon. So
Van Doon only. Yeah. Stoffel Van Doon
Vanderoon.
and Nick De Vries.
Yeah, Nick De Vries. Yeah, Nick De Vries. Yes.
Nick De Vries was 19 F2 champion, I guess. And
Yeah.
also 20 Formula E champion.
Yeah, I mean, the point is that there is no shortage of drivers. Like if not a young driver, no, just pair Sebastian Vettel and Nico Hulkenberg. Much better pair than Stroll and Vettel.
If they want to go for a young and old driver pairing, they could go for Oscar Piastri.
Oscar Piastri. Yes.
Yeah,
Jack
we have
Aitken.
drivers. Jack
We have
Aitken is
drivers.
there.
Yes.
Yeah,
There is no shortage of drivers. I don't think there is ever going to be a shortage of drivers. There is a shortage of seats.
exactly. And that's why I was hoping for 15 teams.
15 teams. All right.
All right.
We've covered up everything that happened in the race. Let's.
No,
Yeah.
we should cover up one more thing. This might be Nico's last race.
This
Hulkenberg's.
is. He announced. Vettel is coming
An-
back in Australia.
Okay.
He announced.
We are not sure when we will see him back in F1.
Yeah. It is sad. But he is
And
in an
Kramer-
Aston Martin.
Kramer has brought his thing. He was on Discovered, right? Vettel starting tradition in Australia.
Yeah. Okay. So we've covered everything that happened in the race. Now let's move to constructors and Mercedes.
Russell
Being the
Russell-
Gasly this year.
Russell being the Gasly. Yeah.
What Gasly was last year. Comfortably in P4 or P5 in no man's land.
Russell was lost in a desert, nowhere to be seen. Even broadcasters didn't give a slight chance of showing him on TV.
Yeah, because like Russell was not able to close the gap in front, and people behind him were fighting amongst each other. It was Ocon and Alonso. So Mercedes, I am eager to see what upgrades they are bringing in Australia, and then Imola, and then Miami. There won't be any upgrades, and then Spain. There will be the last phase of upgrades that will come. And I mean, I want to believe that they have gathered a lot of data, they've studied that data, and the reason that they are rolling out these upgrades and phases is because they either have identified the problem and have decided that 3 major upgrades are needed, or they are bringing in these upgrades to isolate the problem, and then Spain would probably be like the penultimate race where the final upgrades would come in. But either ways, I don't think like for the next couple of races, the increase of that Mercedes pace will be marginal, and then by the time Spain comes and then beyond that, we will see Mercedes come back to its element.
Yeah. All I wanted to say is I will enjoy it until it lasts.
Yeah. Hamilton's comment on finishing P10.
Is there even a point for this position?
Yeah, that was so bad. When he asked, like, is there even a point? I was like, okay, Mr. Elite.
No, but
please.
okay, I don't understand. Was that genuine sarcasm or was that a genuine question? Like, I don't understand.
It was a genuine question.
Hey, no. I don't think so. Being a
No, I
7-time
think it
world
was a
champion.
He's a
question. He has never
7-time
finished
world
P10.
champion, man, and he's been
He has
racing
never
since
finished
2007.
But he has never finished P10. I don't think he has ever finished below P7. He either finishes above P7 or he finishes out of points.
But still, man, he would remember. What are you saying?
Yeah.
He would still know what the points are.
Point system, you'll be remembering, right? Whatever,
Yeah.
no matter what. It's the pretty basic thing. I think that was a huge sarcasm.
Yeah, I think it was more of his performance. Like, is there even a point for this thing that I've done this weekend?
Or else, what he intended to say was, what's the point of even finishing
10th? Yeah, exactly.
Could be.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I think Hamilton should be the one person who understands how important 1 point is. Having lost a championship to Kimi Raikkonen in 2007 on 1 point. I think there is no other person more equipped to understand the importance of that 1 point.
एक point की कीमत तुम क्या जानो, Hamilton babu. Ask Russell from last year. No, last to last year.
Last year, yeah.
My man was fighting for 1 point.
McLaren scores points this race. Congratulations to Lando Norris. First points.
So I was reading about Aston Martin. Okay, McLaren. Are we finished with McLaren? Do you have anything to say about?
I mean, just hoping that they recover from this.
Yeah, same.
I don't want Danny Rick to go to Australia in this GP2 engine car, man. So
yeah. after the race, the media asked Lando about the pace of the car.
Yeah.
And they just told him that there is only way to that is to go up.
Yeah.
To which Lando Norris responded, "No, no, 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 no. I can see a lot more worse things coming our way. And to be a decent car on the grid is a way long." Is a way far off from now. I don't think I'm not seeing those things coming anytime soon.
Oh, this breaks my heart.
Both the interviews that I saw, like of Lando and Danny Rick, in both the interviews, they both were happy with the new pace that their car is getting, and the new upgrades and all. So I don't know what happened. Because when, like, after the race, Lando was asked about like losing to Esteban with just for 0.1 second or something, he said that it was a bit unlucky, but he is happy that the car is now competing at least in the mid tables and everything. So I am not sure about that. And even Danny Rick, before the DNF, he was in the points. He was fighting for the points.
People forget that Danny Rick was doing decently well, and he was also
Yeah, I think he
ahead
was
of Lando.
P9. Yeah, he was, I think, P9 when he DNF'd.
Yeah,
Was, I think,
and he was
P9.
ahead of Lando at that point. Okay,
And
now
Let's
Kramer-
hope that they get better and better.
let's come to Aston Martin.
Okay, before going to that, Kramer has brought an observation. So he says Ocon versus Lando was amazing the last lap.
Oh yeah.
Did they show it?
Yeah, it was.
No,
The
in
final.
parts.
I think they showed the final turn.
They showed.
I think they showed the final turn. Huh?
Final turn, yeah.
Yeah. No. They showed it from turn 18. They showed it from turn 18 because the Charles versus Max had finished, and then Crofty just turned and said that, oh, there is also Lando versus Ocon happening.
Ocon
and
going on, yeah.
Yeah. So I think they showed it from, I think, turn 18 or turn 15.
Got it.
Man,
Yeah.
why do I not remember this? Seems like I watched a totally different broadcast.
See,
What
that's what I
broadcast?
was
Where were you
saying.
guys watching?
Hotstar.
What are you saying, man? Fuck. How did I
Were
miss
you watching
everything?
on F1 TV?
No, F1 TV does not broadcast in India. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. I thought you were watching in F1 TV, but
No,
in Hotstar they did show I think the final, like from turn 15 or turn 18. I keep forgetting from where it started. But Lando was very close to Ocon, and that's when the entire broadcast started of this final.
Ocon would have had
stint.
PTSD because he lost out on a podium last year.
So that's what Crofty was saying. Can Ocon hold on to
this
what,
time?
Yeah, this time and all, and then he did in the final straight.
I think I was too busy shouting at my TV to notice that. I don't remember. Okay. What are we talking about next?
Aston. Only one
Aston
observation
Martin.
about Aston Martin.
Okay.
So from 2010 to 18, which was then, Force India or whatever it is. So until from 2010 to 2018, they never lost the points. I mean, they didn't. I think they won points in every race.
No, I think it was like they've not gone more than 2 races without scoring points.
Yeah, something like that. It's the first time they have gone 4 races without points.
Yeah, Aston Martin is doing pretty bad.
Yeah. That's the whole point.
Bottom line is Aston Martin is doing very bad.
So is it the car or is it the driver?
It's the car.
Stroll. It's the Papa Stroll.
It's the car.
Because Hulk was pretty close to like 11-12 in the beginning, and then even Stroll was very fighting for the 10th position with Hamilton and all, and then they just go and completely I don't know what happens. It's just in the final few laps they collapse like cards. I don't know why this keeps on happening again and again. In both the races, they start pretty well and then they just collapse like cards.
I think Mercedes customers are facing a lot of issues. Aston Martin, McLaren, Williams is pretty useless. Mercedes themselves and Williams. But I would say that the other teams So for Mercedes customers, it's more of a pace issue. But for other teams and other engine providers, there are a lot of reliability issues because Yuki did not start his race. 30 minutes before the race, there were some problems in Carlos Sainz Ferrari. Bottas retired, and then Alpine is then, I mean, like, they're their own thing, but Alpine also retired. So reliability is also an issue.
Even Gasly was not having that pace that Red Bull is famous for.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, Gasly
eighth.
finished 8th. So if it is going to be like a pace versus reliability thing, then it can be a very good season until Mercedes bounces back, because there is always going to be a chance that they might be able to make up places, because like how it happened in Bahrain, right? When there was a double Red Bull DNF, those things can happen. So it's too early to say. It's also the longest season. There is still a long way to go, but yeah, Mercedes will bounce back, man. Even McLaren will. I hope the same happens for Aston Martin as well, because Vettel deserves something better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair points.
Okay.
But whatever it is, I'm happy for Magnussen. My man is scoring points back to back. I am so happy, even though Haas is very low on my final
Yes,
prediction.
this coming from guys who have said that Haas is going to finish last and questioned me when I said that they would finish 8th.
But
No, he's not alone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm talking to both of you.
And
Kramer
like,
also.
But it feels so good to see Magnussen scoring points back to back. Like, I don't care about Haas that much.
I want you guys to admit right now that the only reason you put Haas last was because you did not know that Mazepin will not be driving for them.
Yeah, I did. I kept them last because of Mazepin and Mick.
Okay. Is there anything else that we need to talk about the race? Coming to predictions. What we predicted, how did we do? We start with Kramer. Kramer said podiums would be Charles, Hamilton, Max. Did not happen. Kramer predicted that Max will get fastest lap. That did not happen. Gasly in top 5. Nope. No Haas in Q3. K-Mag made it. And at least one Alpine DNF. So congratulations, Kramer. You got 1 point. Then we come to Honey Badger. Max, Lewis, Charles. Max is correct. You get 2 points for that. 2 points for the... Then Lewis and Charles did not happen. Fastest lap, Carlos. Nope. It said at least 2 safety cars. I'm counting VSC as a still safety car. Okay. So...
Oh, thank you.
1 point for that. You said Williams will score points. Lol. And Alonso DNF. This was pretty spot on. Okay. I am...
Yeah.
impressed. So 4 points for that. Now coming to this man Shakuni. How dare you? How dare you say?
If not for that stupid Albon, I was right. Stroll was ahead of Hulk.
Dare you?
I was right. That stupid Albon, that moron.
Dare you? How dare you say somebody beats Hulk? Anyway,
come on, bring it out.
You predicted Max, Charles, and Perez as podium. I still don't understand how that happened, but it did. So 4 points there. You said fastest lap to Max. Nope. You said both McLaren and points. Did not happen. Alfa Romeo out of points, which did happen. So 1 point there. And then you said this monstrosity of a prediction. Stroll above Hulk.
So close.
Did not happen. Cannot happen now. Stroll will never beat Hulk.
Traditions. Bring out the Ricardo style.
Nico Hülkenberg. And then my prediction was Max gets first place. So 2 points. Lewis second. Did not happen. And I said Carlos Sainz would get third, which did happen. So 2 points there. That's 4. I said fastest lap to Russell, which did not happen. Said at least one red flag. Thank God it did not happen. One Red Bull DNF, that did not happen. And I said crash in lap 1, which also did not happen. So I get 4 points.
All right.
So I win again.
This is an entire league. It's going to happen. I'm keeping a track of the points. Okay, you did not win yet. There are still 21 races to go. You who wishes Stroll to win over Hulk made an enemy for life. Okay, so this brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you guys for joining. And
Thank you very much.
thank you
for the
everybody.
Before
Yeah.
we sign off, I just want to say one thing. Fuck you, Saudi Arabia GP. We don't want you.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, please.
You know, if it wasn't for this podcast, I wouldn't have watched the race also.
You're welcome. I don't know. I don't know if you're blaming us. I don't know if you're blaming us on your plan.
That's a take it as a compliment.
Okay.
I care about this podcast. Take it like that.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Okay. So on that note, we finally come to the end of this episode. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you everybody for listening. If you like the episode, please leave a like, leave a rating, share it with your friends. Reach out to us on our socials. We are on Instagram at Over the Curve Podcast and on Twitter at Over the Curve Pod. If you want us to cover anything, if you have any questions regarding the sport, or if you want to be a part of the podcast, reach out to us. We are available on Google Podcast as well, so you can listen to us there. And you can also reach out to us on our email ID, overthecurvepodcast@gmail.com. Until next weekend, goodbye.